Hey, good morning, good morning. Oh boy, it is one step closer to Christmas, huh? Christmas weekend, maybe the Friday before. Hey, so this is me today, unwashed, but here nevertheless. I am here for you. German Maid, nice to see you. Frenetic Froggy, handmade by Heather. This is the romper room portion of the show where I say hey to the first people who are chiming in. This also helps me realize, okay, the connection is right, depending upon TikTok saying that it wasn't. You know, it's so funny. I just got a notification from TikTok that said it's been a while since you said hello to Mad Mama Vintage. Mad Mama Vintage is my sister, and we literally were on the phone yesterday. So take that, AI. Take that, algorithm. You don't know me. There we go. Hey, Trisha. Hey, Ria. Irish Pink, good morning. Yes. Is it freezing for everyone else? Oh my gosh. Yeah, I am telling you. I went outside. This is where hibernation. Can we all just hibernate maybe? I'm telling you. Oh, Lady V, you're lucky if it's not freezing where you are. It's cold here too. I didn't even look up to see what temperature it is, but I can tell by my hands, by the fact that I just want to swaddle myself in layers of clothing. I don't want to work today either. 26 degrees where Heather is. Yeah, as we would say in our house. Yeah, there we go. Trisha, 159 days till spring. And yes, today's the 20th, 21st solstice, anybody, starting in the next couple of days. Talk about the incremental differences in doing something different every day. We never notice this until it starts to happen, but starting this week, today, tomorrow, the next day, I always say the 21st just as like a shorthand. Each day will have a little bit more sunshine. A little bit, a little bit, a little bit, a little bit. You don't notice it at first. It's like decluttering. Being Beth, your Destination Decluttered TikTok, Destination Decluttered life coach. Um, I really, the incremental little bits at a time, people, as I said, I got some little stickers made up. If you're on the mailing list, I promise I'll get a thing about that. But I say that because I couldn't decide on what catchphrase to use, so I just wrote every little bit helps. Okay? So notice that. Yes, Irish Pink. My house has thermostat on 73 and I still have a desk heater on. Same thing. I have my desk strategically placed here so that the heater can come over my feet and I still feel really weird because I don't have my space heater on me, which reminds me I'm going to text Sean about the heater. Anywho, I am here for you. Raven Wolf. I cleaned my clothes pile. Oh, okay, Kelly's got COVID and the chills are crazy. Okay, German Maid is sick again, mold exposure after the tornado, so slowly working small projects. Oh, it sucks when you feel physically crappy, doesn't it? Yeah, when you're run down, when you're legit sick, when you're just out of gas, out of energy, it doesn't feel good. And when you don't feel good, you don't want to do anything, right? Or you want to just move slowly. What I want to offer to all y'all, all of us, finding a pace that works for you. Every day it's going to be a little bit different, but honor that and be cool with it. Yesterday I was kind of beat, and so at a certain point I was like, I'm done. I'm making popcorn for dinner. I am getting in my pajamas and I'm going to watch a bunch of stupid stuff on a screen. Today I woke up and I had early coaching, but I feel okay, I can do a little bit, but I'm minding my energy, and I want you to mind your energy too. So notice your energy can be when you're cold, you don't feel like doing anything. I know about that about myself. When you have COVID, you can't get warm enough, you're tired, sick. Pay attention to how you feel physically, emotionally, mentally, energetically, neurologically. And when you feel better, you will feel better about doing better. Okay? All right, Trisha is saying, I have been trying to make progress in my home. Awesome for trying. Making the progress is even better. So that's cool that you're doing it. I was stagnant. Notice that, stagnant, stuck, until I started to seriously purge. Now that's interesting. So you went from stuck to seriously purging. Make sure that you are working at a pace that is good for you. And I mean this like slow and steady wins the race. If you shoot out and you're doing it all at once, you may sap your energy and be exhausted and may not come up again. Okay? Ooh, a space heater with remote. That sounds awesome. Sometimes I say to my husband that I want like a space heater, almost like an IV like thing that I just drag around with me and be surrounded by it by all time. But notice that I'm talking about, and especially this year. So I've done a lot of coaching this week. This time of year is unlike any other time of year, clutter-wise and otherwise. The weeks are different. Today is what? A Wednesday? It feels different. Next week, Wednesday will feel different. Between this Wednesday and next Wednesday, we will have had a weekend, which feels different than Monday through Friday. We will have had Christmas, Christmas Eve, day after Christmas, you know? And so find a pace that works for you every day, but especially now during the holidays when you may have other things that are using up your energy. So DLC is asking, does hoarding things have a lot to do with parents who didn't have much as a child? Yes. Yes, completely. When you don't have something and you get it, you try to make up for lost time. I mean, and trust me, I am not a licensed mental health professional, but boy, do I know people who need mental health help and they're getting it. I also know professionals. I am a certified life coach. But what I will say, yes, there is a cause and effect. And if you don't pay attention to it, it can take over your life. If you're trying to make up for the fact that you didn't have enough as a child, if you're trying to make yourself safe by surrounding yourself by things and creating a physical buffer because you don't want the outside world to get in, if you're struggling with however your brain is wired, it can be more of a challenge than other people. But I like to think of it as everybody's brain is different, everybody's life is different. And to customize, like me, I do one-on-one coaching, customize a way of thinking and doing that gets you the results you want, clutter-wise, decluttering, and does it in a way that feels good to you. Okay? Okay, there we go. I love it. Trisha's saying she's not purging every day. Not every day, just on days I am able. Yeah. The other days I just sit back and appreciate my efforts. That's the best part. That's the whole reason we're doing this. This is the whole reason I'm showing up, you people. I love yous because I want you to feel better in your life. I feel better in my life and I want everybody to feel better. And if you have the opportunity to feel better, why not? Okay? So notice that. They sell heated sweaters at Home Depot now. Yes, I wouldn't be surprised if I just need like a heated sleeping bag. But then the funny thing is I'm of an age, I'm a Gen Xer going through the menopause, probably already been through it, that I get too hot and then I'm like, oh my God, get this off of me. I'm so hot. I go from freezing to too hot because it's the way I'm wired now and it's okay. So let me ask you this. You got me here in your life for the next, whatever. I start at 10:30. I'll be here Eastern till 11:30. So like 52 minutes. Okay? I love it. Raven Wolf is saying, started my clearing while watching your live. Now I've walked a mile each day, cleared off the treadmill. Yeah, I got to move my treadmill down the basement. It's not in a good place. It's discouraging me from using it. And when it's cold outside, I don't want to walk. But I need to. I feel better when I do. So how can I make it easier for me to kind of get my steps in? I am here for you to make it easier for you. Today is Wednesday before the Christmas weekend. I show up all the time doing TikTok lives, but especially this time. What can I do to make our time together most helpful for you? Okay? Just notice that. Okay? If you're one of my one-on-one clients, and I know oftentimes I think a few people were actually chiming in and saying, oh, you know what I'm going to do is while you're doing your TikTok live, I'm going to do some surface area decluttering. So surface, stored, sentimental, the 3 layers of clutter. So maybe you want to do that. Maybe taking this break can also get you, I mean, not that you always need to double task. Double task? No. Multitask. Well, it's kind of double, 2 things at once, double, two mints in one. And what I want to offer is help, suggestions, I don't know, good vibes, encouragement. I'm here for you to what you need to help you get going for the next many days. Let me help you with that. Okay. And yeah, Mommy Salami is saying to Rach, I feel like I was not this cluttered until after we lost everything in a house fire. Of course. That is your nervous system reaction to the loss of things in a catastrophic way. So just notice that. Notice that there is a cause and effect there, and don't discount it. There's something there. And if your home is if you're starting to fill up your home with things, and it's getting to feel like too much, you're going from absolutely nothing to I want to feel better, so I bring more things in, but then it can feel too much. Notice the difference this feels. Notice how it feels different in your nervous system, in your body. Are you feeling relaxed and kind of nice and calmed down, or is your fur all prickled up? I almost said pringled up. So just notice how it feels when you are decluttered. Even a smidge, even a little corner up thread saying, I just love to hang back and I just like to enjoy the fruits of my labor. I like to look at what I did and be like, oh, that looks awesome. It's like decorating a Christmas tree. It's like decorating for the holidays. I'm going to do some of that in these next few days myself. And then just walking around and enjoying it. Okay? So GGX 2000, you bring up a good point. Saying with all the regular cleaning and decluttering, it's now all a mess with packaging and wrap. Total mess now. Here is a wonderful kind of Zen Buddhist thing to remember. This is all temporary. I mean, if I want to get really deep, I'm not that far into my cup of tea. Everything is temporary. But for now, even just think of it. At this time next week, all of what you're prepping for is going to be behind you. And put it into context. You will have plenty of time to get it back to regular cleaning and decluttering. Now it is messy because your packages and wrapping, because you have more things in your home than ever before. But even that quantity of items is temporary until you go disperse them to the people who you want them. So take care of yourself. Don't beat yourself up at all. At all. But I was going to say, but especially this time of year, but especially now. There's so much going on. We are not decluttering in a vacuum. We are not decluttering in we are living lives that are affected by how well you feel, what your temperature is, what your energy level is, what you celebrate, what you don't. Even if you don't celebrate it, the vibe out there is different. There's more electricity, there's more energy around because of what people are doing, and you are affected by that. And that's totally cool. That means that you're a human and you're not a robot. Okay. I love that Raven Wolf is saying, encouraging us to do something during the live helped me a lot. Awesome. You know what? Notice that encouragement and use it for yourself all the time. What is something I could do? Now, you don't need to run yourself ragged. Do not do that. But if there is something that's not working in your life, clutter-wise and otherwise, just ask yourself, what's a tiny little thing I can do? Doesn't have to be big, because all the big things are really just a combination of little things. What's a little smidgy Widgerson thing I can do to feel better, to do something that's going to make me feel like I'm moving in the right direction? Okay. Now, Rach is saying sentimental is the hardest for me. Yeah, the sentimental is the hardest for everybody. And I'm not excluding, I'm including you with that. We all have hearts, we all have memories, we have feelings, we've got emotions. We are human feeling creatures. And sentimental gets us in the feels. Your head, your heart, your hands, this is where it hits you. And you're meant to feel feelings as a human. When you try to be more like a robot, it just comes out the wrong way. It just makes things worse. So allow yourself to feel the feelings. And the sentimental is sometimes we think, that the feelings are all bad. No, it's always going to be like a chocolate. It's always going to be like a Whitman sampler. Okay, maybe I could do a TikTok live about this. There are going to be feelings that you're excited to feel. The laughter when you see yourself in your 80s clothing, when you find this, picture from high school. The sadness you feel about the picture of your great aunt who is no longer with you. The anger you feel at the, I don't know, it's something that somebody gave you that's never worked. Like, you've got feelings and stories. Allow yourself to feel them, but it's like a Whitman sampler. It's always a combo, and you don't, as Forrest Gump would say. I saw Bubba Gump shrimp in an airport just 2 days ago. I didn't even know that was still a thing. Life's a box of chocolates. You don't know what you're going to get. Yeah, you're going to feel a feeling, but you can choose to eat the good one, or if you bite into it and you're like, no, I don't want that, you can put it back. You can feel the feeling and let it pass. Okay? Yay, and Catherine just said, yes, it's over in a few days. Yeah, eyes on the prize, just getting over this. And notice how you're feeling now. Notice how you're feeling now, And while it's still fresh in your memory, say to yourself after Christmas, what can I do next year to feel more of how I want to feel and less of what I don't want to feel? Making a plan for next year, starting on December 26th, will set you up for next year feeling even better. Okay? Annalisa is saying, came to say I'm buying less gifts because a lot of the things I give away are gifts from previous Christmas. Yeah. Here's the crazy thing, honestly, is all of us struggle, so many of us struggle with clutter. Only a fraction of us are even showing up on this TikTok live. So many people do, and yet what are we doing? We are adding more clutter to our lives. We are thinking that the solution is more stuff, and it's not. It adds to it. Now, I'm not buying that many gifts. My husband and I kind of do this thing all year round. We'll buy a little something, something. And even now, I said, here, buy me this. Oh, put this in a thing. Put it under the tree. We'll open up a few things. But we all have habits of ways of thinking and things that we're doing. And it can feel strange to, say, I don't need anything, or no, I'm not going to give gifts. We are social creatures, and we want to be part of the pack. And we don't want somebody thinking we're weird if we're not buying gifts. So you buy gifts that add to your clutter, that add to your debt. And it's a crazy little thing that we do, isn't it? Okay. Sounds like Sid. It sounds like YD. How to deal with items from an abusive relationship and marriage feels very loaded and I don't know where to begin. Here's where I begin. Get rid of that shit. You will never forget that you were in that relationship. Your body will not forget it. Your brain will not forget it. You do not need one stitch of physical evidence of clutter to remind you of the unhappy situation that happened in your life. You don't. When you see those things, it's going to remind you of that. You're never going to forget it anyway because it's part of your history. So if you don't know where to begin, how about this? Begin the healing. Say, you know what? I don't want to be reminded of this all the time. So I'm going to give away the stuff that's useful. I'm going to throw away the stuff that's not. And I'm going to make space in my life now to say no more of what happened in the past. Where am I now? And make space for the life you want in the future. Okay? Now, it's funny. Mommy Salami says Christmas is too commercial these days. Yeah, it also was back in 1963 when Charlie Brown Christmas came out. It is a commercial industry. It really is. And somebody's making big bucks off of it. And this is where my punk rock Gen X roots come by. And I want to say anarchistically, F you to the big Eastern Syndicate, It's a big Eastern Syndicate, Trust me, every part of the year I am always quoting Charlie Brown Christmas. Nickels, nickels, nickels. How I love that clinking sound. I would shake my teacup and I know it'd splash all over me. That's what it's all about, Charlie Brown. Seriously. It is too commercial, but you don't have to buy into it. Notice how we say buy into it. It is so hard for my husband to throw away things he never uses. We have a storage unit. Yeah. Lisa, what I want to suggest to you and everybody, just notice, but notice that we all have a certain way we think about stuff that makes us feel a certain way. And when we feel a certain way, we do a certain thing. So your husband is part of this human pack we're in. He has certain thoughts and feelings, thoughts about stuff. They make him feel like he doesn't want to throw things away. So then he does something and purchases a storage unit. It is common. We all do these things to a certain extent. If you want to change that, you need to become aware of what's going on up here and in here to do something different with that info. Okay? So your husband has those habits, but you have your own habits too. Let's all start with ourselves first. Externally, we can point out all the faults in everybody else, but we rarely turn that, that searchlight into ourselves. Eek. I avoided it for decades, and boy, you know what all I did? Was I just delayed myself feeling better for a lot more many years. Okay? So just notice that. We all are products of our own environment, our thoughts, our feelings, and our actions. So practice what you can do to make your relationship with your stuff work for you as opposed to against you, to make yourself feel better about how much stuff you have in your house, how you shop, how you don't, to just feel better. I'm all about just feeling better. I do love it that Rach says don't feel bad about regifting or giving away gifts once the gift serves its purpose. Yeah, completely regift some stuff. Actually, this is really cool. Sounds like Sid, thank you for the reminder. I'm going to write this down because I'm a little bit out of habit because I was away for a week. I do these TikTok lives all the time. TikTok live. I'm writing it down. Writing things down helps you remember things and then gets them done. Recording. And yesterday was the 19th, and now today's the 20th. I download these recordings and upload them to Destination Decluttered on YouTube. So it probably won't happen until after this morning, a couple of days. It needs to buffer on TikTok, but then I upload them. So sounds like Sid, if you go, and I apologize if I'm mispronouncing anybody's screen name. It's hard to even just do it, but you know who I'm talking to you. Is there are a ton of previous TikTok lives available free to you, kind of like a podcast to listen to while you're decluttering, while you're driving the car, while you're doing something, to remind yourself to think of where's my life now, where was it? Sure, we can spend all sorts of times looking back there, but instead, where am I now and where do I want to go? What's my destination? And I always start with decluttering, because when you find out how to make decisions about the stuff in your house, in your life, you are getting into the practice of thinking, what's important to me? What do I want to do about it? Okay. So the videos are available. See, notice it's a Christmas miracle. You got what you wished for, and it exists. And it reminded me to download the one from yesterday because I forgot. Linda had just purchased the book, Gentle Art of Swedish Death Cleaning, starting the sweep after Christmas. Awesome. Use whatever tools there are available. I never pretend that I'm the only one in the pond. But anything that you can pull into your life to make it easier, create your own toolkit. If it's the book of Gentle Art of Swedish Death Cleaning, buy the book and do the things. If it's setting a timer to do decluttering for 20 minutes, use a timer. If it's me showing up doing a TikTok live and you say, oh, when she's on, I will go do something. Whatever helps you do the things that get you closer to the life you want. Create your own personal toolkit to do that. And every time I show up doing these TikTok lives, when I do the free Zoom call with the people on the Destination Decluttered email mailing list, when I do my one-on-one coaching with people, every single time, all I'm doing is offering you for free, these tools you can use. Now, I just said for free, and of course my coaching one-on-one costs money, but that's because we create a custom toolkit for you. We say, okay, what exactly can work for you? But now I'm saying you have all this available to you to change your life. But just like a toolkit that has a hammer and maybe a screwdriver and some pliers or something, they only work if you use them. They can sit there and do nothing, or you can build something amazing with it. You can practice using those tools to get used to it, and you can build a little birdhouse in your soul, or then you can start doing something better, but they don't work unless you use them, okay? So notice that. Okay, Jenny says, I am having a hard time motivating myself to decorate my tree. My kids are at their dad's, and I don't want to do it alone. I have a sad, real, empty tree in my living room. Okay. Notice that. Now, I will admit, I am not the person to try to convince you to decorate your tree, because the tree is not my jam. I do not enjoy it. I did for a while until I didn't. So my husband does our tree. I do other things. So let me ask you this. Will your kids be back? Could you wait until they're back and do it together with them? If not, could you make it so that you're doing it just for yourself? That being alone, instead, if you don't want to do it alone, how could having it be alone, maybe you could make it enjoyable. Put on some music, get on some comfy clothes, pick out the ornaments you like, and create the tree just like you want it, and doing exactly what you want to do. Notice this. And notice when you're saying it's a sad, real, empty tree, and maybe it's not sad at all, Charlie Brown. Maybe it just needs some love. Go and love up on that tree. Maybe you're going to do it not for yourself. You'll do it from the tree. You'll swaddle its thing in the bottom with a blanket like Linus did. You'll sing, Hark the Herald Angels Sing. Do a little bit of Charlie Brown Christmas on your own. Because it's not about the stuff that's out there. It's about what's in here. And that's when we transition from Charlie Brown Christmas seriously into the Grinch. Now, the funny thing is, I said this yesterday, and I believe it again. The Grinch gets all the glory because he's this big, pain in the butt green guy. He makes for a good costume. But the real heroes of that story are the Who's down in Whoville, who realize you don't need any one thing. He stole it all, and still, you know what they had? They had a good feeling in their hearts. And then he was like, oh shit, they're right. I fucked up. And pardon me, I bet he swore, though. He's the kind of guy. That they can just sing and have love in their hearts. You can have a perfectly good Christmas without buying a damn thing. Keep your heart filled with love. Your cup overfloweth. Okay? Ravenwolf says, when I cleared the clothes, my husband used the empty space for boxes of stuff from his office. Yeah. Isn't it interesting? When we're not used to having space, we tend to fill it up again. You know? Yes. And Rach even says, how will you feel after the tree is done? Yeah. Yep. Don't want to climb into the hot mess of an attic my husband left to get the decorations. Yeah. Notice all these stories you tell yourself. We all do it. And what are the stories that are encouraging you to live a life you want? And what are the ones that are saying, no, I don't want to do it? Honor the ones that you don't want to do, too. Nobody says you have to have a tree. Okay? Yeah, I used to love Christmas. You can love it again, and you can love it in a different way. We all right now are of an age that we're not loving it like we did when we were 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I could go on. But think of every year that you grew up, you loved Christmas in a different way. Maybe you believed in Santa. Maybe you got religious. Maybe you wanted to go hang out with your friends. You didn't want any toys. You wanted a boombox. You wanted money. You wanted, a bottle of wine. You wanted something for your kiddos. We change all the time. Allow yourself to become the person you want to be. What a wonderful gift you would give yourself. And if you want help with that, I don't know, use your gift money to pay for coaching and I'll help you. Or tell somebody else, you know what I need? You know what I want? I want a decluttered home, and I want to learn how to do it permanently so I'm not always calling somebody on it. Okay? Notice these things. Okay? There we go. German Maid says, I stopped doing Christmas years ago. Told family and friends not to buy me gifts. Yeah, you can be good with that. Grace is saying, I want to share with you that I finished decluttering my room, and I'm so excited. Awesome, Grace. Rock on. Everybody, give Grace like a high five, however you do that in the comments, There we go. This is what it's all about. So revel in the accomplishment, but then also notice. Notice that you have habits that if you don't watch them, you might start cluttering again. Okay, yes, thank you everybody for giving Grace some high fives and whatnot. That's awesome. Yes, take a bow, as Madonna would say. That is not easy stuff. We all know it because we all know what it's looks like at the before. Oh, I'm never going to get this done. But you showed up and you showed up and you showed up and you showed up. And now it looks and feels better. Yay. And all of us have this in us. I would offer to you, Grace, if you're interested, chime in and tell people what worked for you. I'm a coach, and so I can suggest things, but you just did it. So what worked for you? Put it in the comments. You can help other people. I show up to help you. It worked for you. You help others. It's like a nice positive ripple effect, or my Gen X brain offers a Fabergé organic shampoo commercial. Okay? So good stuff. Yeah. Trisha is saying, I told my husband that my main gift to our family this year is to declutter and bring peace in our home. Yes, that is a lovely gift. And I want to amplify that by saying, everybody in the home should participate in creating that peaceful environment. It shouldn't fall to one person. Okay? Okay, I love it. Oh, Juju 2002 got my TMBJG little birdhouse in your soul. I am a Gen Xer who loves music, so this is how my brain works, and it cracks me up. So there we go. All right, so yes. Took me a few months, but I'm so happy. Yes. It's going to take time. It took you time to get cluttered. It's going to take you time to get decluttered. And Grace, Peace Angel is asking you, where did you start? It's so funny. Every time I say when you start, and it makes me want to sing Doe a Deer from Music Sound of Music, I almost said Music Man. Sound of Music, start at the very beginning. It's a very good place to start. Do, re, mi, and all that. Charlie Brown. I say start at the end. Before you even start, get clear on, get an idea of, start to envision and imagine and feel what it's going to feel like when you, even one section of your home is decluttered. That is going to activate your nervous system and kind of rev your engine to encourage you to start moving towards it. The time is going to go by anyway in your life. Did you have a like New Year's resolution in 2023 of this is the year I'm going to do it, this is the year I'm going to get decluttered? Did it work? Did you do it or not? And if you didn't, the year has gone, that's okay. What can you do differently this year? And I suggest coaching, but also just showing up for TikTok lives, things like that. There we go. Trisha just said, I just started picturing 2 doors, past and future. It helps me get rid of unimportant items. Yep, Bugs is saying write a list. Okay, Rach says no, but that's going to be this year. Yes. And what you're going to need to do, I'm going to clue you guys in. You're going to need to do things you ain't never done before, Jay. And make some uncomfortable, discomfortable decisions. Getting out of your comfort zone, stopping the habits you have, and starting new habits. And this can be habits of action, habits of thinking, habits of feeling. Stopping the stuff that's keeping you stuck in the place you don't want to be and starting on a new path. Now I found like I'm all like whatever, but starting on a new path to go somewhere different. And it's catching yourself in your old habits and course correcting every little bit. Now, and I trust me, I know that this is so much easier for me to say than actually do, but I am living proof of what it is like. I had a friend not too long ago who was like, how could you be a decluttering coach? Have people seen your basement? I said, here's the funny thing. You haven't seen my basement in years. I have changed. And I have gotten rid of and rehomed and used and all the things. I've decreased the amount of items in every area of my home. I have changed how things come in, and I love the way it looks and feels. And I have also changed my habits to keep it that way. Okay? Yes, and when you start doing the stuff you don't want, you can literally feel your brain chemicals change. Yes, you can do this. I was on a coaching call today with a client, Freudian slip, and she was reminiscing of a story that happened decades ago, but it still activated her nervous system. Her body was thinking that thing was happening right now in the present. It happened decades ago. So notice that what you tell yourself up here, the story you tell yourself, your body doesn't know if it's the past or the future. It feels like right now. So when you realize that, you can say, okay, if I can feel the bad things from my past right now in the present, I can also feel the good things in my future. So how do you want to feel? How do you want to feel in your home? That's really what the decluttering is all about. It is not about Pinterest and Martha Stewart and buy this thing and all this kind of stuff. It's about how you feel in your home. And that's going to be different for everybody. There we go. Abbott Elementary saying, my gift is paying the monthly water bill payment for my husband to take over some stress away from him. Yes, taking stress away from somebody. What a wonderful gift. How can you take some stress away from yourself? What gift would you give you to take away some of your stress? Okay, Queen of Crazy is saying, combining households with my boyfriend, so lots of decluttering happening. Yes, if you have multiples, you have a spatula, I have a spatula. Which one do we want to keep? One of them? 2 of them? I don't know. Let's discuss. When you discuss how to make a household run efficiently. Yeah, the gift of me time. Okay, you can do that. I teach a process called breeze blocking. I do it myself. You can block in every day. You can block in some me time. There we go. Yeah, Bugs is saying, I ask myself, how do you want your retirement to look like? How do you want it to feel like too? And then how can I get that feeling today? How can I envision that? So I'm like, oh my gosh, check me out. I'm poolside, but I'm in the shade and it's warm, but I'm not sweaty and I feel just right in my body and I'm relaxed. Suddenly, right now I'm on a TikTok with you in freezing cold Pennsylvania, but my brain and my body think I'm in Palm Springs. And that is a really good way to notice that you have such power, not power over, but power with that you can use all of your insides, your humanness, your thoughts and your feelings and your hands and action and feet and decision making and driving and all of the stuff that makes you you, you can use it to create the life you want. And here's where I may differ from other kind of coachy people. I don't think many of us want the yachts and the bling and the big stuff. If you want it, by all means, go for it. But I think peace of mind, feeling good in your body, your nervous system, relaxed, having time for yourself, having time for the people you really care about. When you realize that that's where it's at, you realize also that this whole notion of buying things to get that feeling, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Okay? Jenny, I'm glad you find it motivating. This is how I coach. I don't know if we introduced ourselves. My name is Beth. I'm a decluttering life coach, Destination Decluttered. If you're new here, please follow my page. If you are interested in being on my email mailing list, it's free. I call it my mailing list, but it's our list because it's a great group of people. I will say I'm very excited. I just got these in the mail because I had a coupon and I wanted to test them out. I get these little stickers made and I thought they might look good on like a water bottle or something. I wasn't sure what to say, but to me, I love this. Every little bit helps. I don't know if it probably looks backwards if you're seeing it, but I've got these and I'm going to let my people on my mailing list know because I only have a finite amount of them and how to get one of these. So if you're interested in being on my mailing list, destinationdecluttered.com/join. I will be sending out an email before between now and next week. I don't want to overwhelm you before Christmas, So notice this. And you can do something about it. Maybe this year just didn't work out. That's fine. How about today? What could you do today? Instead of saying, oh, next year I'm going to do it. Now, trust me, I am putting off making some decisions about healthy foods and exercise. I am human too. But what little smidgy thing could you do today? Maybe instead of 2 bowls of cereal, you only have 1. Maybe instead of barely going outside to walk, you go someplace warm to walk. Maybe I'll go walk around a mall or something. Probably not at Christmas, probably not a good idea. But what's a little thing you can do? Oh, Lulu just said, with your help, every little bit does help. And you know what I'll say? I'll put that right back on you. Whatever you do with your help to yourself, every little bit has. Put one foot in front of the other. All the stories, many of the stories, I don't want to say all because I'm sure there's one. Many of the stories we learn from the Christmas specials are ones that remind us of the stuff that's really important. Of embracing yourself when you want to be a dentist, or knowing that the love is in your heart, and maybe it isn't clang, 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 those commercial trees, but it's what's inside you. And knowing that so much of the other stuff is just helping somebody else make money off of you. And as soon as you realize that, you're like, oh, you know what? I don't have to play that game. I can observe it and I can enjoy it, but I can do something different. But we need to declutter before Christmas. You can. You're probably going to have a cluttery Christmas and you're going to have to clutter afterwards. It's like cleaning up before a party. I'm always like, why did I just wash the kitchen floor? We just had 80 people go through our house. We had 80 people once and it was over a matter of time. We have a tiny house, so it was really fun. But you're going to have to do it afterwards. So enjoy the time you have. Okay? Cricket is asking, ideas for kids who are sentimental with a majority of the toys they aren't playing with. Have a conversation with them. See if you can ask them what that toy makes them feel. Why are they sentimental? Why are they afraid of letting it go? Maybe they want to keep it. Maybe it's not all the toys. Are there some toys that they would be willing to let go of? Start that. Notice how all of us, our bodies, our hearts, the heart is like my shortcut for nervous system, feeling, everything from the neck down. Notice how the fear of loss, the sentimentality, I used to like that and I don't like it anymore. All of that comes up no matter what age you are. And so meet your kids where they're at with that, and coach them through it and help them realize it's okay to feel feelings. And it's okay to want to hang on to some stuff, and it's okay to release it, that nothing bad will happen when they release it. Okay? Bigfoot Crazy is saying, I knew and needed this today. When the student is ready, the teacher appears, I think the old adage goes. My name is Beth, Destination Decluttered, Decluttering Life Coach. If you like what you hear, I am doing a number of TikTok lives this week, especially this week. I don't usually show up every day of the week, but I also do things differently. I don't do things usually. This week, I'm showing up today. Today's what, Wednesday? Tomorrow and Friday, different times. The schedule is posted at the top of my Destination Decluttered not YouTube channel, TikTok channel. Next week, I have no idea. I got to figure out what I'm doing next week, but I will. Don't worry. Yeah. Jamela is saying, yeah, a couple of people, I love this, are offering suggestions. Maybe rotating through the toys. Maybe taking a picture of the toy and then keep the picture and donate the toy. Also, I would say this, remind your kids of how lucky they are, but you know what? There are people out on the world right now who have nothing, who have so much less than we do now, that your kiddo could feel good about sharing their toy with the other person. Means that while they may be losing the ownership of the toy, they get a good feeling in their heart about being able to help somebody else who didn't have the ability to have even one toy. Okay? That sounds like it's probably, I would like to think, one of the things you would learn in a Charlie Brown Christmas special or something, So notice that. And find a pace that works for them. We all know sometimes we struggle with something that seems really tough at a certain point, and then it kind of resolves itself. That something that we struggled with before seems easy. So allow them to go at their pace. But I would also just pay attention to that. And if you find your kiddo clinging on to stuff and you can't seem to help them, seriously, maybe they could use some more accurate mental health help. And there's no stigma against it, but finding out what's going on with them that's causing them to do that could be beneficial. All right? What about the container system for kiddos who find everything sentimental? Yeah, you could say you can keep everything sentimental you want, but it can only fit into this one tote. That's an approach, There we go. Stardust is saying, I started giving my old books to a friend. Time for the books to bring joy to someone else. I love that. You know what I did? So I went on vacation this past week with my husband, and I don't buy a lot of fiction, but I came across, in our town, we have the little libraries, and somebody had a big box of books out. And so I went through and took some that I thought I might want, and I read some of them on vacation, and some of them I didn't get out all the way through. I'll confide in you that it was like, wait, why am all of the books that seemed to be about somebody cheating on somebody? It was a little bit dramatic, and it wasn't what I was into. However, I put them on the little cart near the pool at the place that we were staying, so somebody else could have that. Now, I got it for free. I used it for when I did, and then I was done with it. I put it out there so somebody else could use it, And then Grace just said, it works for me. It makes me happy to help someone by sharing something I don't use anymore. Yeah, think about that. You get a good feeling. It's not like you give it away and then all you have is an empty feeling because you don't have it. What you do is that empty space is replaced by a good feeling because you're helping somebody else and you're helping yourself by lightening your load, jettisoning what doesn't serve you anymore, that's just weighing you down anyway. And let me be clear. Clutter is an arbitrary definition. Stuff that looks like clutter in my house to me doesn't look like clutter to me. It may look cluttered to you. Clutter is your determination, and you decide. Typically, clutter is the stuff that just doesn't work for you anymore. It maybe never did, and you gave it a shot, and it doesn't, and it's not going to, or it did for a while, and now it doesn't. Little kids grow out of clothes. Grown-ups grow out of clothes. We read books, and we're done with them. We use a kitchen gadget for a while, and then we realize we're sick of making rotatos. This is how it is to be a human. And the more that you kind of understand that and you're cool with it, that you'll love yourself for it, and you'll say, you know what, this is how I am, and maybe I'll think twice before buying that gadget. Is there another way I can get rotatos? I don't know why. Oh, I think I bought one of those for my sister for a wedding gift, or maybe a shower gift. This was back in 2000. And I'm cool with, like, when I want to get a spiral sliced deep fried potato, I will go to, like, the Big E once a year. I'm cool with that. I don't need to make it at home. I love it. Catherine, thank you for letting me know, and I'm not the only one that knows what a rotato is. Yeah, so notice that. Like, do you need all this stuff, or can you get that feeling or that taste some other way? And just remember too, and this is being me a little bit like snarky for the Christmas stuff, is somebody out there is making big bucks off of you every time you buy stuff that you don't want or need because you feel the societal pressure to give gifts. Now, I know it's hard to kind of slow down a truck that's going in a certain direction and then changing, or a boat that's going in a certain direction, slowing down that whole family boat of what are we going to do about, what do we do, how do we do gifts in this house or family or even relationships. But it's worth examining. Are you just adding to the clutter, or are these things really bringing you life? You know? And everybody's going to be different and things will change. I give different gifts to my nieces and nephews now, actually, because they are now late teens, early 20s than I did when they were 5 and 6 years old. I'll be honest with you, at a certain point, my nieces and nephew, I said, you have all the stuff you need, but you know what you don't have? You don't have time with me. And so what my husband and I said is, we do not give you physical gifts for the most part. If something comes up, it's not hard and fast. But your gift for us is time with us, a weekend away with just, you and me, and let's hang out and get to know each other. Let's do some fun stuff. Let's show you a different part of the country. Let's make a memory. And this isn't a thing. This isn't a Lego. This isn't a Pokemon card. This isn't a Wii. This isn't a Switch or any of that stuff you can buy at a store. And now I feel like I'm going to be quoting Charlie Brown things. But yes, we're giving experiences to our kids. And that's not so, I'm still spending money in the world, but it's at like diners and little, miniature golf places and a vintage hotel over here and a meal over there. But it's not this cluttery stuff. And at the end of the day, I want my nieces and nephews to remember me up here and in here and not have to think of me just because they happen to see, a plate hanging on the wall, Yes, experiences are the best gifts. Or, some people think. Other times it can be, I saw this thing that you really wanted. Like, I don't know, if I bought like an amplifier for my husband, he knows what it wants. And I'm like, put a bow on that. Merry Christmas. But getting you what you want that's going to be helpful to you. So just something to think about in this season of gifting and stuff and clutter. Because what the gift is today is it gonna lighten up your life? Is it gonna bring you joy, or is it gonna weigh you down? And whatever the answer is, have grace with yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Well, you can have grace with yourself if your name is Grace, because I just saw Grace who's pulling up. So just notice this. Treat yourself kindly every day, but especially during the holidays, because there is a great societal force encouraging you to buy, encouraging you to overindulge, saying that you will get love and affection and connection when you buy items. But at what cost? And remember the things that how do you want to feel? I guess I will say this too. Think about how you want to feel during this holiday season, how you want to feel. And I bet it has to do with love, maybe relaxed, I don't know, peace of mind, calm, surrounded by loved ones, appreciative, full in the heart, quiet. I don't know, quiet for me is big because, I don't know, some people do like to be noisy, so you do you. But figure out how you want to feel this holiday season. And then say, what can I do to increase the likelihood that I'm going to get that? Now, I've been working with my one-on-one clients for the last couple of days, literally just making a plan between what are you going to do between now and Christmas. And then I use this system called breeze blocking. And it's like you have this big list that can be overwhelming. Let's break apart that list and put it in different places so that it feels better for you to get the same amount of stuff done, but it feels different and it feels better. I have one client who's doing so great at this. It just clicked with her, and she's like, I have never felt this way before in the holidays, because I'm getting the stuff done I need to get done, but that frantic energy is gone, and I'm just sitting there relaxing, having a cup of tea, sitting down with my book. I know I'm going to get everything done. She sent me a picture. It was so cool. We were on a coaching call last night, and she sent me a picture of her using her grandmother's china, or actually it was her great aunt's china, and made herself a little snack plate. She said, I'm going to use the good stuff. I'm just sitting here with, and watching a Christmas movie. No, it was like a TV show, and I made myself a little snack, and it's on the fancy china, because every day can be a good day, and it's, a good time to use your china. Okay? So just notice how you want to feel, and then what can you do today, even in these next few days, to slow down, to put the foot off the gas, slow it down, simplify it, move at a pace that feels better to you. Yes, live the life you love, totally hundo P, as my sister would say. Social media has made consumerism and consumption something awful. Please, aren't we always flipping by all that TikTok shop stuff? But you can. If you know you don't need the stuff, if you do think you need it, be curious about it. You may fall for something. You may think, oh, that neck thing where you're cracking back and it's the blue curly dealy. I mean, I'm tempted. And the funny thing is I saw that my mother, I think, bought one because I help her with her emails and stuff like that. Yeah. Stardust is saying, can you take snippets from this live stream and create a video compilation? I could, but I'm not going to. I'll be honest with you. I am lazy about that kind of stuff. I'd rather spend my time anywhere. And the thing is, too, when things are snippets and they're like that, you don't give yourself time to let it absorb. You need the space between the greatest hits to let it settle into you and organically kind of resonate. So I feel like the way I present the information is exactly the right pace that you need to hear it to absorb it. Now, if you want more of it, Stardust, I will say that there are a whole ton of recorded TikTok lives. And if you've never seen them, they can be live to you because they're, it's always going to be something fresh and new and a different way to describe it. So just be open to it. Maybe say, you know what, it's almost like trying to water flowers with a fire hose. If there's too much all at once, you shut down and it's overwhelming. But if a little bit at a time, let it trickle in, absorb, play with that thought, think about it. Does it stick with you? Then you hear it again and you're like, okay, maybe that makes sense. No, I don't get what she's saying. Oh, now I get it. Just notice this. And there is a lot of good stuff here and you're getting it at just the right pace. Okay. Sally Sirius says, hi, I'm new here. I'd love to hear your tips and tricks to move smoothly along the holidays. Yes, I will say this. Start with the end in mind. Destination decluttered. Whenever I lose my way, when I am coaching myself or others, I remind myself, what do I want the next few days what do I want to feel like by the end of today? What do I want to feel on Christmas Eve? What do I want to feel on Christmas? I want to feel relaxed. I want to feel surrounded by love. I want to feel like I'm looking around and I've got my favorite little Christmas tchotchkes out, not too many, just right. And then say, what can I do today? And a lot of it will do. I'll say this, you can make a list of things to do. And that's a start. Getting your thoughts out of your head and onto paper is a start. But then scheduling them into your hours between now and Christmas is a game changer. I just call how I do that breeze blocking. And then reminding yourself to not overschedule yourself and to bake in time for you to recuperate. Okay? There are all sorts of things you can do to slow your roll and regain control over what's going on and say, okay, is this how I want to feel? No, I feel exhausted and frantic. How do I want to feel? What's the opposite of exhausted and frantic? I want to feel calm and rested. How can I feel calm and rested? Oh, I don't know. Maybe go to bed earlier today. Maybe I'll say no to that thing. Maybe do I really need to go to Target? Nah, I don't need to do that. Right? Oh, there we go. Raven Wolf says, didn't declutter during this live, but feeding the sourdough was feeling like a chore, so I did that. Yeah, do whatever. You can do different things every day. Do what feels right to you. And if it feels right to you, then that's when you know you're in the right direction because you're spending your live time feeling aligned with what's important to you. Okay. Belinda just said, I just got rid of 3 garbage bags of old baked goods left over from my deceased husband's baking days. Oh, that's tough, but it's a good thing because you know what? Baked goods are just going to rot, Got rid of a lot of Christmas decorations too, and I love that you're loving the freeing feeling of decluttering. That is really where it's at, Charlie Brown, is it's not so much just how it looks, just like a shiny aluminum Christmas tree, but it's how it feels. How do you want your holidays? How do you want your life to feel? And when you tune into that, write those things down so you don't forget. I have a list literally in front of me of notes and of things that when I feel like I'm getting off track, I say, I am grateful that I have peace of mind. I am grateful that I create good, fun, interesting things that I want to see in the world. I don't leave it to up here. I write this stuff down so I don't forget. You can do the same. June, started to declutter. Awesome. Keep it up. Do it for a little bit. Every little bit helps. Okay, that's what I would love you to say. A tiny little heartfelt gift, it will always feel better than some big thing bought off the cuff. And it's because it's not just about the money, it's about the feeling. And you can choose to feel better this holiday season. Okay? And I know that these next few days, and I see we've got about 5 minutes if we haven't met before. I am Beth, Destination Decluttered. I show up and do TikToks. I got one TikTok live tomorrow, the next day. Probably not the Saturday before Christmas. Who knows? This is how I roll. I'll be honest with you. I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. We'll see. If it's going to be scheduled, I'll let you know. Next week, I'll figure that out when it's next week, because these 2 next weeks are different from any other weeks. And even though I don't work in the corporate world anymore, I know that next week is going to be between Christmas and New Year's is when people, like, it feels different. So I like to be flexible about stuff like that. Belinda is saying the emotional attachments we put on things ends up hurting you instead of helping. So many times it does. Many times it does, but sometimes having a few little tchotchkes around you doesn't hurt anybody. Yep, the money you spent is gone, but you can have a wonderful memory from it. Yeah, actually, it's interesting. User 1963 says, is this a pop-up? I didn't get a notice. No, this is, well, no, you should have. I started at 10:30, so I'm only here for 3 minutes. Do this. Look at the front page. I never even know what to call it. The front page of my TikTok page, where all my videos are and stuff. I have 3 videos posted to the top. One of them, big surprise, is how do I want to feel this holiday season? And I recorded that back at Thanksgiving. So it's, to me, it's still relevant between now and literally the new year. And then even the new year, I want to ask you, how do you want to feel in the new year? But the other one is the schedule of when I'm going to do these TikTok lives. I'm not sure why you didn't get a notification. However, the remaining ones, Thursday, Friday. Oh, I guess it's only Thursday, Friday. Gosh, time flies. The times for those are on the front page of my TikTok page. Make your own reminder. If it's something important to you, I was working with a client today and she put it in her time, her breeze blocking. Set an alarm on your phone, whatever works for you. You know? Completely. Elle just said, good to remember how I want to feel regardless of the unpredictability days can bring. 100%. Yes, you cannot plan for the unexpected, but what you can do is make a plan, and if something unexpected doesn't happen, great, that's a green route. But if something unexpected happens, you can deal with that and then get back on track. And remind yourself, even when the unexpected happens, how do I want to feel? Okay? I love this. That user 1963 is saying, I'm purging today and donating to a thrift shop that helps fight homelessness and helps women leave people. And notice that. And notice where it can feel really good to help others with the abundance that you have. And it doesn't just have to be about, donating money. You can donate your time. You can donate your stuff to people that don't have as much. And finding a place for your stuff to land that the meaning behind it feels good will encourage you to donate more to that place. I often say my local historical society does a thing, so I donate to them. It makes me feel good that my money's going somewhere. All right? Okay, cool. You've got it on your phone, Calvin. Accomplish that and getting rid of junk. That's how I want to feel. Okay, Rach, what can you do today? This is the great thing. Do not postpone that feeling until the end. This is just helping you prompt it. This I'm always pointing over here to this heart. I made a new one. Destination. You can do something today, Rach, everybody, to feel accomplished after getting rid of junk. And you can do it with 1 piece. You can do it with 50 pieces. But if you do something today, as opposed to postponing it, what you get today is that feeling that you're thinking that you have to wait until the end. No, you get it immediately because you know what you're looking for. I'm going to feel so good when I get rid of some junk. Therefore, I will get rid of some junk. Today, I feel good. The destination is just like it's like a North Star. It guides you to remind you of what you're doing and why you're doing it. Okay, awesome. Rejoin the email mailing list. Very cool. I see some folks doing that. And it's 11:30 Eastern. It's time for me to, I don't know, sign off. I feel like I'm doing college radio, like back in the 80s. But yes, and Grace just said, and then you become addicted to that great feeling. That's a good thing to realize, that it feels good to feel good. Many of us get it many ways. Some of them helpful, others not. But realize that you have the power to make yourself feel good just by doing things that align with the person you want to be. Okay? Have a great day, everybody. I will see you tomorrow. If you're interested, I am doing a TikTok Live, 8 a.m., Thursday, December 21st. Show up if you want. There's recordings. I will download this one and upload it to Destination Decluttered on YouTube. Also, if you want to join the mailing list, I'm saying I got these stickers. I'm not doing this to be, but aren't they cute? They're a little bit smaller than I want, but I thought, you know what's really funny? It says every little bit helps, and then they're little, and you can like put it on a, you know, I'm thinking of like a water bottle or something like that, or your computer, whatever. These are going to be offered to the people on my mailing list, so destinationdecluttered.com/join. And if you're interested in coaching, I will offer this to you. I am going to take some time in the next couple of days to map out what next week's schedule looks like. I may put some coaching consultation slots on my calendar, and if I do, the people on the email mailing list are going to be the ones that get first dibs. Okay, that's way you can start the whole new year with a package of, you know, I only sell a package of 10 coaching sessions. I work over Zoom, yada, yada. Long story short, get on the mailing list if you're interested on any of that. But if you're not, no worries. I'm here for you, free tomorrow, okay? Can you show your vision board on the shelf, please? I want to show it to my son. I don't know. I don't have a vision board. How about we follow up for that next week, okay? I have to go, or not next week, even just tomorrow, okay? Your vision board on the shelf. I don't know what you're talking about. Carrie Ann, tomorrow, chime in with more. I have to scoot. I'm sure you have stuff, you know. We'll have things you want to talk about. I will too. All right, that was my little riff on Mr. Rogers. I will see you tomorrow. From Romper Room to Mr. Rogers and all the sits in between. Beth, Destination Decluttered. You got this. You can do it. Just figure out what your destination is, how you want to feel, and what can you do today to get there. Chug, 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 chug. You got this. All right? Bye.